Walk you through this ultra leg workout that I do that has helped me set a couple ultra course records, finish 300-mile races, and overall I think just make me stronger as a runner mentally and physically. And there's a couple things I want to cover about this because I don't think you need to necessarily do that. Like, this isn't the only way to do things. This is just something that's worked for me. And even if you don't want to like win races and set course records and you just want to finish, this is going to help you. And we're going to talk about the reasons why. I'm just going to explain a story and explain to you how this worked for me. When I was training for a 50 miler in 2023, it's lake to lake 50 miler. It is completely road, not a whole lot of elevation gain, a couple uphills, downhills, but generally like pretty straight, flat. And this is a race I had done a couple times, but as I got more into ultra running, I realized that I had something I needed to solve, and that was being able to run hard and fast on tired legs, right? And so the big goal with this type of workout is to get used to training and running on tired legs and running faster. And so we're going to go over this workout, but I want to explain what happened at this 50 miler race because 2 weeks before this race, my training was going okay. I had done a 50K test. My goal pace was like an 8:30, 8:40 minute mile average for the 50 miler. And 2 weeks before this race, I got T-boned. I got in a car accident, and I was actually on a date. This was the second date with this girl, and we were driving, and obviously I'm focusing on the road while trying to talk to her. And on the street in St. George, Utah, it's very difficult. This particular street, it's very difficult to see the traffic that's coming because there's trees in the way. So I'm trying to take a left-hand turn. There's cars coming down this curve towards me from my left, and then cars on the opposite lane that I'm trying to turn into coming from the right. And so I'm looking both ways, and I see that there's this car in the closer lane to me coming towards me. I have enough time because there's no one on the right. I go to take the left turn. I'm looking to the right again to check and make sure I'm good. And the girl says, wait, and wham, I get pounded by a Tesla 3. And so what was happening, excuse me, what was happening is the Tesla was speeding around the bend from my left and was in right behind the car that was in the closer lane, if that makes sense. So I just didn't see it. Car was totaled. You can see the girl right there. You can see Yowie, my dog, unfortunately, was in the car with us. He's fine. She was fine. I was not. I mean, I guess it depends on how you define fine. I got a cut. So I remember seeing my mirror once I pulled out of the road because we got hit. So I tried to get out of the road. And I remember looking in the mirror and I just, see and feel blood pouring down my face. So fortunately, no one was hurt. The Tesla was absolutely destroyed. My car was totaled, and my roommate comes and picks me up. We drop off this girl I was on a date. Don't talk to her anymore. Surprise there. I was like, this is either gonna make or break us, and it broke us. And got Yowie home. I decided not to go to the hospital. I just wanted to monitor things, and before I made that decision. And my roommate stayed up with me. Joe, he's a homie. If you're watching this, you're the man. And he made sure I was okay. We bandaged it up. I'm all good. There's a little bit of a scar to this day, but scars have great stories. So this was 2 weeks before this 50-mile race, and I was still able to set a course record and win it. And obviously there's a lot to training. I want to talk about some of the things that I do when it comes to leg workout to get used to running on tired legs. So 50-mile course record, I ran it in 7 hours, 11 minutes, 13 seconds. So that's about an 8.5 minute mile average. And I actually beat most relay teams, which was really interesting. So this race, you can do it in duos, you can do it in relays or singles, and you could do it in, I believe, groups of 5, 4, 3, 2, co-ed, male, female. There's a bunch of different categories. I think there's like 10 ultra runners this day, so people doing the whole 50-mile course by themselves. And I beat most of the relay teams, which was actually really cool for my ego. I took about 18th place out of 70 different groups. So that 18th place, the people who beat me were people doing the race in relays of 5 or 3 or 2, and I beat most of them, even some of the groups that were doing 5. So obviously, I dominated this race, and a lot of this has to do with the leg workout I was doing. So I want to walk you through that and talk about some of the secrets to why this works, and how maybe you can implement it yourself. So let's talk about this leg workout. So this is something I've been doing for many years now at this point. There's a couple key factors, but let's just walk through it super simple, super fast. If you need help with these exercises, just Google it. That's why I put the name here. You can YouTube these videos. There's definitely videos out there that can show good form and help you understand this. But basically, I'm doing 3 sets of a certain amount of reps per exercise, and it's 3 sets for everything. Super simple. It takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to do this, depending on how short the rest times are. So first thing is I do 3 times 10 barbell squats. And when I'm doing this, I'm doing as heavy as I possibly can within the rep range. So I am currently doing a lot of this, like squatting around like 185 to 200 pounds. I built up the strength over time. You're going to have to determine the weight. I can't put this for you because if you're, if you've never squatted, I don't want to recommend a certain amount of pounds and it crush you. So you're going to have to determine this on your own, and it takes time, but let's at least focus on the exercise itself. So I'm doing squats, heavy squats, because I'm trying to just blast my quads and glutes. I'm trying to tire out my legs, because the secret we talk about at the end is what really brings this all together. I do 3 by 12 Romanian deadlifts, so that's 3 sets of 12 reps-ish. So, sometimes you do a little more, a little bit less, but that's kind of the rough range. I do this with dumbbells, so in both hands. I do RDLs, or Romanian deadlifts. I definitely look up how to do those properly. There's a lot of little nuance to that. I do 3 times 12 Bulgarian split squats, so that's 12 each side, 3 times, and I'm doing this with like 20, 25 pounds, 30-pound dumbbells in both of my hands. I've worked up over time. You could do this with your body weight. I think that'd be fine. And then 3 times 15 lying leg curls. So I work out a lot at my home gym, and I don't have like a laying down hamstring curl machine. So what I do, it's kind of funny, but imagine my hands are my feet. I pick up a dumbbell and I lay down on my stomach on a bench and I curl my hamstrings. So everyone knows what a bicep curl is, right? You're just curling your arm. So I lay flat on my stomach and use my feet to squeeze a dumbbell. It doesn't have to be heavy, like 20 pounds. And then I have to lay down on my stomach, bring those dumbbells, that dumbbell up behind me, and I'm doing curls with that. That's something you can do at home, or if you have light dumbbells, or even if your gym doesn't have like a lying down hamstring curl machine. And I actually prefer it with the dumbbell because I feel like I can like focus on my hamstrings way more. So we're starting to hit all the different kinds of muscle groups. Lying leg curls, we're getting hamstrings, we got quads, we got glutes with other things. And then I'm going to do some standing calf raises. Calves can take a lot. We walk around all day, and as runners, our calves are pretty tough, but we definitely need to strengthen them. So I do 3 sets of roughly 25 reps. And that's with dumbbells in my hand, or you could do this with body weight. And then the last thing, I always like to do core at the end of my workouts because I don't like lift every day. So I try and implement core here and there. So with this leg day workout, I do hanging leg raises. So I have a pull-up bar, or really a squat rack that has this bar at the top, and I just hold on to that, and I just bring my knees, or at this point keep my feet out in front of me and kind of bring them up. So hanging leg raises, you're hanging and you raise your legs. So if you don't want to do that, don't have the capability for that, you could do some planks. I'm a big fan of planking. And so here's the workout, and it's going to take you some time if you've never done something like this, but here's the secret to this workout. Here's what brings it all together. We're trying to absolutely destroy the legs. So either that evening or the next day, we go run. And here's the important part. We run at our goal pace. So there's a bunch of different opinions and thoughts out there about easy days, hard days, splitting them up. Don't go too hard. When you've had a hard day the day before, you can get injury. And I'm actually a big believer in that. I agree. You should definitely take easy days the days after hard days. And I would consider this leg day workout pretty difficult. I would do this once a week or every 2 weeks. But I'm trying to simulate what it's going to be like on race day when I'm at mile 40 of a 50-mile race and I still have 10 miles to go to set a course record or win it. And so what I'm doing is I'm destroying my legs so they're sore, tight, tired, and the next day I'm going to run at my race pace. So instead of taking it easy, nice and low heart rate, I might go do 5-10 miles at 8:35-minute miles because I'm trying to simulate what it's going to be like way late into the race. You can do this with back-to-back long days, but I really love just blasting the legs because even more than the physical benefit I believe I get from this, mentally it's amazing because the thing that might be different with running the day after this workout versus like being 40 miles into 50 miles is the soreness. So like you definitely get sore over time, but there's a big difference between just blasting your legs in the gym and lifting heavy and then running the next day versus your legs just being a little tired and fatigued late into a race. And so when you're used to running your goal pace, when it's way worse, meaning you're super sore, super tight because this leg workout was the day before, you're doing that versus like race day, yes, you're tired, you're fatigued, you're going to be a little sore, but it almost feels better than this. And I think that's a little mental trick I do. So I'm going to include this link in the description below where you can download this workout so you can have it yourself. There's this app I use on my iPhone. Can't remember what it's called. But if you download that, you can copy this, and I believe the app is free. You can have a couple different programs for free. And so you click the link and copy this so you could just start doing this right away. And I think that would be super helpful because if you want to get faster at ultras or even just get used to running on tired legs so you can have this mental endurance because you've set a new bar for yourself, doing workouts like this and running the next day or the evening of the same day you work out is going to be super beneficial. So if you like this type of stuff, if you like learning about running, different workouts, mental tricks, content surrounding getting better as a runner, definitely hit that subscribe button. I post pretty regularly and I appreciate your time. So I hope to see you on the trail sometime soon.